San Francisco's Be-In, the gathering of the tribes, set the style for a whole wave of love-ins, be-ins, freak-outs, solstice celebrations across the world. In the Summer of Love, California led the way. Messengers went out to spread the word, like Chet Helms.
I bring you greetings from the tribes of the North. I'd like to say as well that about 4 weeks ago, I spent some time in New York, and I spent some time in London, and I'm here to tell you it's happening all over.
I used to be cruel to my woman, I beat her and kept her apart from the things that she loved. Man, I was mean, but I'm changing, I see, and I'm doing the best that I can. I admit it's getting better, a little better, all the time. Yes, I admit it's getting better, it's getting better. Since you've been mine, getting so much better all the time. It's getting better all the time. It's getting better all the time.
I really wish the people that look with anger at the weirdos, at the happenings, at the psychedelic freakouts, would be unbiased about it, because they really don't realize that what these people are talking about is something that they really want themselves. It's something that everyone wants. You know, it's personal freedom to be able to talk and be able to say things. And it's dead straight. It's a real sort of basic pleasure for everyone. But it looks weird from the outside, but it isn't.
People like to live in a cozy rut, which, again, you know, we were all quite happy in our little ruts right up until, I think, 1966, when this experience happened.
Until October 1966, possession of LSD had not been a criminal offense. Since World War II, doctors had conducted experiments into the therapeutic potential of the drug. But beyond medicine, some of the guinea pigs were saying they'd had a good time, and LSD was spreading to home and college.
Well, what's so great about it?
A down trip.
I hope this isn't being recorded. Is it?
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
No.
Well, gee,
No, it's just that you asking it to be described, it really, whatever it is, you know, good or bad, it really just can't be described. It's something that has to be experienced. And it's a completely individual thing.
So next time you see the word psychedelic, you know, freak out music and all of that, look at it straight and think, well, psychedelic, now what does it mean? And then somebody might explain, you know.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small, and the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask when she's 10 feet tall. And if you go chasing rabbits, and you know you're going to fall, tell 'em a hookah smoking caterpillar has given you a call.
Robin Williams says, if you can remember the 60s, you weren't really there. And that sort of almost sums it up. People normally didn't get on stage while high on acid playing unless by accident, which was usually enjoyable, but I don't think it made for a lot of real heavy music, as they say. Generally, I think it was more the style and texture of music that came out of a culture semi-immersed in acid some of the time. Like, you don't play on it very much. I mean, your strings get this big, you know. Whoa. So it's not really conducive to acting, functioning together with other people in the right key and all that. Because people just wander off in other keys and then something else happening over here.
That was one of the wheels of John Lennon's Rose. It's a gas. If you're over 80, that means it's Fan. 6,000 pounds worth of 1965 Phantom, inside almost as marvelous as out.
I was in John Lennon's Rose, the pretty gypsy caravan Rose. I heard him say, and I didn't know what he meant, I don't often have acid for breakfast. I thought, oh, it sounds awful. Sort of like a man who'd had bad food, and bacon, and it was, oh, I've got an acid stomach, you know. And what a funny thing to say. And then he said, and to celebrate, I'm going to play you this. And he said, listen, what do you think of this record? We skip the line fandango, turn cartwheels across the floor. I was feeling kind of seasick. The crowd called out for more. The room was humming harder as the ceiling flew away. When we called out for another drink, the waiter brought a tray, and so it was as the miller told his tale, that her face at first just ghostly turned the whiter shade of pale. Really, we felt liberated by the experience of taking LSD, and that's why it's hard to see it lumped with addictive drugs and other things. Because I think if you were doing it all the time, it would be a madhouse. You couldn't raise children or do a job, but to have a good look at the other realities, the other verities, other than those structures of, you know, I'm 42 and I should be 42, I think it was helpful. It set me free, and it set Joan free, and I'm grateful we took it together. I wouldn't like to have sort of been out there on my own in bad company. There's Dr. Leary, who was also somewhat of a leader, and was very keen on set and setting, as he called it. You should be in a good frame of mind, and you shouldn't be sort of on Reading Station, you know, with a load of soldiers. When you took it, you should be sitting in a field with the Archbishop of Canterbury, and then you'd feel all right.
Well, if you couldn't manage to be in the company of the Archbishop of Canterbury, you could, in 1967, fairly readily come across Dr. Timothy Leary. On this occasion, addressing a convocation of Students' Union presidents, Dr. Leary took as his text Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, in which he found for him a not wholly unexpected significance.
Now, the message that I read into this album is, surprisingly enough, a familiar one. Turn on, tune in, and drop out.
There were many people, including Timothy Leary, who thought that the psychedelic drugs would bring about Eden. And that was the image of the Garden of Eden, of course, in rock and roll, and even to some extent in Sgt. Pepper, though there was a slightly charming, cynical wit about that. However, as Kerouac said when he first took magic mushrooms, psilocybin, walking on water wasn't built in a day.
Timothy Leary's famous slogan, turn on, tune in, and drop out, got a lot of people in hot water to a certain degree. All of us in the Haight-Ashbury had more or less done that. But to become a national figurehead, saying in the media, turn on, tune in, and drop out, had certain ramifications. For instance, how do you stay alive after you've done that? Now, at that time, I was not a kid. I was not an old man, certainly, but I was not a kid, and I had been around, and I could take care of myself to a certain degree. But that slogan was heard by 13 and 14-year-olds living in the hinterlands of America, and they came running to meccas like San Francisco looking for this paradise, and found something slightly less.
If you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear some flowers in your hair.
I would say that the last 18 months has seen a tremendous increase of the so-called hippies who have invaded and lived in this area.
Some gentle people there.
It is the belief of the people who live within the area that we, the middle class or the upper class, have done a very, very poor job in running our government and our way of life.
Speed, combination of heroin and methadone, producing a speedy, powerful high. Stoned, high as on LSD. Straight, square, conventional, also the feeling immediately after a heroin fix. Trip is an LSD experience. Turn on is to commence a far-out experience is to turn on with LSD.
I don't really want to go on and on about LSD. I'd like to be able to say, you know, that it was because of some other reason, but it was because of LSD was such an experience that it took you right out of the ego at certain points during the 1,000 years it took to wear off.
To